So that is one. The second is, of course, data based on temperaments. So my next question is, apart from maybe a few characters in the play, uh, the rest have brought in a lot of baggage to the room. And baggage plays a large role. So about Juror 8, we only know that he has kids. Beyond that, there is no personal information. So possibly, what could be the learning here? I mean, I'm just teasing out the question from you. The personal seeps into the professional. So could anyone react to the baggage? The baggage question. What's the baggage and how does it influence your judgment of the... All of you.
So one of the things that we did before we began, this is like about what 35th, 38th show that we're doing, something like that. So we began. It's actually been 2 years, Raju, almost. Yeah, not 2 years. No. So when we, one of the things we did as an exercise with Nadir is that we would say, what are you as a character? What are you bringing? And what is the baggage that you bring into the room? You've been in this trial for 3 days. But before that, what do you carry into the room? Yeah. In my case, for example, I had to define who I was. So I was a loudmouth, obnoxious Punjabi whose name is Ani, actually, who wants to go and see the cricket match, which is the only thing you really know about me. What you don't know about me is that at one point of time, and for me in my head, Nadir and I fixed, it's the point when Shivani actually talks about the knife. That for me is my turning point, right? Till there, I'm pretty much, kids, look, I want to go and see the bloody match, I don't give a shit about this thing, I need to get out. That's my one track. And my baggage is, I'm done with this, I carry my own prejudices about the boy, about what is right and what is wrong, and which is why I totally agree with Devin most of the time. My turning point is when Shivani actually does that thing about the knife, and that's when I switch. But I hold my prejudice even when I'm accosted by Sora. I hold my prejudice and say, I don't care, I just, go with it, I'm just going to say not guilty. But the truth is, I actually believe he's not guilty. And I do the entire thing as a cover-up right through the thing because I just want to get this done. From the beginning, I know this is there are 11 against 1 or whatever, this is going to be done. I'm going to go home and watch the match. So that is my turning point in the prejudice. Does it answer the question? I don't know. Yeah.
Anyone else has a response to the baggage question? Yes.
Yes, I do. Actually, it's just, I was thinking about this and you asked this
things
question.
together. So it's more like breaking somebody's thought process or trend of thought. When you don't allow, I'm trying to now relate it to your so-called management corporate skills or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that when somebody is speaking or he's trying to get at a particular argument and you break his thought process by interrupting, then there's that slight error. For me, that was a moment because he felt he was getting somewhere with this argument that he was going to put forth. It's as simple as that. So allow a person to fully speak if he's trying to make a point.
Turning the room and trying to make it basically come out with a verdict that is not guilty. It seems like he's definitely angling for that. But I think more than anything else, I mean, we're not really interested in why he's doing it. What's interesting is how he does it. And the fact is that all he does is start a dialogue. So once you get into a room, you start a dialogue where you're talking to people rather than talking at people. You started getting talked to as well rather than getting talked at. And I think that's the key thing. Because the most powerful thing that you can achieve and manage to do, and I mean, in almost anything you do, is try to get someone to come up with a conclusion that you want them to come up with, but let them think that it was their choice. You know what I mean? It's about really making them believe that, oh, I came up with this on my own, but the fact is that you steered them in a certain way to come to that conclusion, but you are in charge of that. And at that point, you're really master of that room because you can control it, you can not manipulate it, but you can direct it to whatever it is that you want to achieve. And your agenda, if you're in the room, is obviously the most important thing to you. But as is evidenced by other people in this, at some point you have to be able to give that up as well and look at the larger picture and say that, hey, someone else coming up with an argument that has more merit than I do, and possibly has a larger reason to be the correct answer than mine was. So always be flexible to admit that someone else has a better idea, yeah, and to then support that fully. I think just because it just pinged for me a little earlier.
One very small line which I have used in portraying Juror 8 for my approach to the character towards the others is, what do you think? That is the key line for a group discussion. To actually put forth this, so make the other person not feel comfortable, important, whatever terminology. What do you think to draw out that person? That is the first approach, which is what I have used in my head for Juror 8.